It's summertime. Summertime, 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 summertime. So I'm feeling pink as fuck, and I'm excited. AF. I guess I already said as fuck, so I don't know why I'm just obsessed with AF right now. I put on these sunglasses not just because I look amazing, but because you can see the reflection. So for the first time, you guys can see what I'm always looking at when I'm talking to you. I'm looking outside, and it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm super excited about it, and I hope I get out there. We're all going to be sort of like Puxatawny Phil and poke our head out of our holes, and our pasty faces are going to just like, ugh, what is that? It's the sun. And I think my feelings could best be summed up in song with the immortal words of Michael Hutchins of In Excess. God rest your soul, Michael Hutchins. You were a genius. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I got to let you know. I got to let you know.
You wanna my kind.
Stand at the center of it, point your toes straight forward at the top edge of your space. And lift your heels. Did this happen? Where your ankles roll out? So I want you to imagine squeezing something between your calves. When you lift your heels, imagine just holding like a ball or a block. Let's say you actually have a yoga block, right? You would place it between your calves, and you would literally squeeze the block with your calves, and when you lift your heels, you're gonna find that as long as you, whoa, I'm off to a rough start, right? Let's try that again. There we go. We're trying to get the heels up, and we're trying to stay on the balls of the feet, and when that happens, that is why we drop that block. That's why we lose our balance, is because we need to strengthen these muscles on the outside of the calf. They go to the bottom of the feet, and they give us balance. So now, pointing those toes straight forward again, reach forward and squat down. I want you to watch your knees and see how much they might be moving inward and outward. Go ahead and rise up. And what I want you to notice as your knees bend is, where do they go? And can you push the center of your knee right over your second toe very deliberately? Okay, mindful movements here. So squat down. Watch how the knees track. Sit as low as you can without your back rounding. Okay, so keep that chest bright. Go to the side so you can see. I'm sticking out that booty. I'm pulling my groin back. If I don't pull my groin back, if I just sort of hunch, if my knees are going over my toes, my back is flat and round. Flat and round. No, it can flatten out and become round. So I want you to try to pull your groin back and then rise up and then lift the heels. Lower the heels, bend the knees and squat. Rise up, lift the heels. Lower the heels, bend the knees. Rise up. You're smart people. I bet you know where this is going. Lift your heels and keep your heels up and bend your knees. And rise up. Nice work. Lower the heels. Hinge forward at the hips. Fingertips to the floor. And then push one heel into the floor while the other knee bends. So when you push your left heel down, bend your right knee. You can even lift the right heel. And push your right heel down so your right leg straightens. Lift the left heel. And then just simulate those steps that you might be taking if your fingers weren't on the floor. It's a nice little mobility movement through the hips, through the low back. Go ahead and bend those knees, rise back up. Standing again at the center of your mat. Lift your left leg up into the air. How you guys doing, by the way? Go ahead and turn that left foot. Whoa! Crazy, right? That's why we're doing this. We're trying to get our body calibrated for balance before we start needing it, right? It's like getting to the mountain and realizing you forgot all your climbing equipment. Bend your knee, reach back, grab your foot, pull your heel to your tailbone, hinge forward, place your left palm on your right knee, and then bend your right knee a little bit more and lift your left knee a little higher. Hold that heel to your tailbone with your right arm. Rise back up, bring your leg back in front of you, lift your shin away from the floor, point your left big toe at the baseboard to your right. Release, step back. When you step back, make sure you don't turn that heel down, okay? So I want your left toes to point at the top of your mat, and when you plant your left heel, lift your right. You're gonna have to bend your knee to do that. Looks like that. Let's go to the side. Let's go to the side, there we go. When one heel lifts, the other one comes down. Feels a little bit like you're on an elliptical machine. Heel up and heel down, heel up and heel down, heel up and heel down. Just taking a few steps here now. Both heels lift, both knees bend. Try to do this without leaning forward. And if you need to lean forward, it'll take some of the load off of the hips and back. But what I want you to do is try to imagine that you're sliding down a wall. Nice and slow. All the way to the floor. And sometimes you might need to grab onto something or hold on to, like a broom is a really good example of how you can assist yourself to the floor if that's a little bit out of your reach today. The right foot steps back, point your toes behind you, and sit to your heels. Place your hands on the floor behind you. Make sure your fingers are pointing forward too. We're just going to lift the butt off the heels, lift the chin off the chest, and look at the wall behind us. Now bring your hips back to your heels. Slide your hands forward, spread your fingers, grip your mat. Take your knees off of the floor. Keep your knees bent as you push your butt away from the top edge of your mat with your hands. Take a deep breath here and let it out. Lower your knees again. We're back in tabletop and we're going to step the left foot forward. Now we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the other side. So we're going to lift the right knee, lift the right foot, and bring the knee in front of us. Just hold it here. And we can try to balance on the ball of that foot. You can also turn the ankle that's in the air. And then reach back, grab your right foot with your left hand. Your right hand goes to your left knee. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe it goes to a wall or a chair, all right? But we don't want to reach down to the floor, even if we're capable of that, okay? So what we want to do is keep our spine in extension. That means your chest is pressing against your shirt. If I go down to the floor, my shirt would immediately sort of fall off of my chest. So I don't need to go down that low. Hand to knee. Lift the knee high, push the left knee forward, and hold the heel as close to the tailbone as you're able to. Bring your leg back in front of you and grab a hold of your shin and lift it away from the floor. You're trying to lift as high as you can without leaning back. Pull your groin back and lift up. Use those biceps. Step back, and if you have to, plant that back heel, otherwise you'll fall over. Please keep it down. But if you need to, turn the heel up, point the toes forward, and then one heel up at a time. Right heel up. As I press it down, I lift the left. Boom. And I allow any movement in the knees, but I'm really mindful of how the knees are tracking. And can we keep pressure on the ball of the foot and prevent that pressure from rolling out to the pinky toe edge, the outer edge of your foot. Now both heels are up. Both knees bent. And we're going to try to we're not trying to lean back. We're just trying to prevent ourselves from leaning forward, okay? And making the chest recede and hide. So chest against your shirt, lean back, shoulder blades on your back, and we're going to slowly lower, down, and gently bring the knee to the floor. Then we step back. We point the toes behind us and sit to the heels. Plant the hands, slide them back. Lift your butt, lift your chin, look back. Oh, enjoy a nice deep big breath there. Release, come forward. Slide your hands to the top of your space and then grab your mat. Curl the toes under. As you lift the knees, keep them bent and push your heart back towards your inner calves. You're trying to slide your mat out from underneath your feet with your hands. And your hands are trying to push your butt back over the short back edge of your mat. Take one more deep breath and lower the knees back to the floor. Step the right foot forward. Lift the left knee up. Lift the left knee into the air in front of you. Draw it out to the side. Lean and turn to your left. Point your left big toe at the wall behind the back edge of your mat. And then come in. Ankle across the thigh. Squat down. Left hand pushes your left knee down. Your left big toe is pointing out and up. Step your left foot out, nice and wide. So now you can see the long edge of my mat is kind of under my groin. So take a pretty good step out, point the toes out, and squat down. It's important that the knees track over the toes. So there's no reason why you need to point your toes out right and left, east and west. We're trying to go no further than our knees can go out. So I want you to try to separate your knees, drive them over your toes, pull your groin back. And let's see, oh my gosh, we don't want to get too round in the back. You don't have to touch the floor, but try to get low. And then rise up. Good job. We're going to step in and do the other side. Lift your right knee up. And then if I place my finger here on the outside of my knee, it would be me trying to not grab my knee and pull my knee out, but me trying to use my knee to push my finger out. I'm very deliberate through the muscles in the lower part of my right leg, even though I'm not using it to stand on. Still firing and point the big toe. Turn. And come back to center. So we're waking up all those stabilizers. That's an important part of the stronger practice. Ankle on the thigh, point the right big toe left, and push the knee down. And then we're going to take a big step out to the right. And then as we bend the knees, the feet aren't super glued to the floor, so they can move around as much as we need to. So we're just going to settle down, get comfortable. We're going to get on down. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. Kanye said it. He knew what he was talking about. Get down, girl. Go ahead, get down. Fingertips to the floor without the background. Chest is on your shirt. No matter how much you're reaching down, you're not letting your shoulders go into heroin chic. Your chest is poking against your shirt. Fucking think Superman tearing open his business suit, his Clark Kent suit. Rise back up and step the right foot in. Lift the left knee up and step it back. Reach both hands up into the air. Slide your thumbs over your ears. Bring your elbows in close to your nose as you look up at the ceiling. Lift the back heel. Engage the left quad to straighten the left leg and put more tension on the left hip flexor. Slowly release. Ah! That's why we practice stability. Lower the knee down. Plant the hands. We're going to take the right leg back up into the air. That's tricky. I'm trying to switch cameras on that phone on my wrist. Okay, so you can see from the side, I've got my knee bent. I'm going to try to touch the ceiling with my big toe, even though I know I'll never get there. I'm trying to lift it as high as I can without my hips turning open, okay? So it's not about hip rotation. It's really about extension. So make sure that your right knee hugs to the midline as you lift and try to touch the ceiling with your big toe. Now bring right knee next to left and draw it out to the right. This looks like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Bring your knee back to your knee, out to the right, back to the other knee, out to the right. Just a couple more and then we're going to do both. And bring your knee to your knee and lift your right big toe. Bring your knee to your knee and go out to the side. Knee to knee, extend, and knee to knee, and we go into opening the hip. One more time, and out to the side. Good, now make circles. I want you to draw counterclockwise circles on an imaginary whiteboard to your right with your knee. And now slow the circle down and go clockwise. Try to trace that same circle. And release. Push back into downward facing dog or crouching cat, my preference. And that's crouching cat, knees slightly bent. A little springy feeling. Springing through the balls of the feet instead of trying to push the heels down. Lift the right leg up. Step to the top of your mat and rise back up. The hands go up. The hands go up, but the shoulders go down. Open up the hands nice and wide. Spread those fingers. Lift the back heel and sit into your right hip and right knee. Take one more deep breath here. Reach out to the side. Lean forward, heart over the right knee. Slowly pick up your left leg, bend your left knee. Point your left big toe at the ceiling. Lower the chest to the right knee. Belly to the thigh. Fingertips touch the inside and outside of the right ankle. Extend the left leg straight. You're trying to get your left big toes over the back edge of your mat. Reach your hands forward, warrior three. Pull the collarbones forward, push through the right foot, rise up. Nice work, plant that right foot, cross right ankle over left thigh. Squat down. This time, hand on the ankle. You're gonna grab the knee and pull it up to your chest. I'm still pointing the big toe. Every time the ankle goes to knee, point the big toe. This time, rather than pushing the knee down, lift it up and push your ass against your pants. Release, lift the right knee up and step back. Soft as you can, reach both hands high. Let's go back to the front. Hands on the side of the head. Draw the elbows in close to the face. Pull the armpits back. Put your shoulder blades onto your back. And then lift the heart. Now, this isn't about getting your chin away from your chest. It's not about pushing your head into your hands. It's about trying to get your heart closer to the ceiling above you with the ball of your right foot. Lift your right heel high. Engage the right quad. Straighten the right leg. Pull the groin back. Lift the heart up. Release. Right knee comes down. Nice and gentle to the floor. Plant the hands. Draw the left leg back. Now, we're going to take left knee off the floor. Start with the left foot. Lift the left foot. Keep the left knee bent. Lift the left knee. And point left big toe at the ceiling above you. Lift, lift. I want you to imagine while you're lifting your left leg that you're holding a tennis ball at the back of your leg. And if you try to straighten your leg to try to get higher and get more action, then we need to focus on that hamstring glute connection. So hold an imaginary tennis ball or imaginary orange at the back of your knee. Bring your knee to your right knee and bring left knee left. Again, into sort of a dog peeing on a fire hydrant position. Make sure you're pointing left big toe. Knee touches knee, and then left big toe lifts behind you. Bring your knee to your knee, extend to the side. Knee touches the knee, and lift up at the center, knee to the knee, and out to the side. Knee to the knee, extend, knee to the knee, open the hip. One more time, lift the big toe, and out to the side. Now, make circles. First, we're gonna do counterclockwise on this left side. Draw a circle, a big circle, a slow circle, and then reverse it and go clockwise. I hope, like me, you're already sweating. And then release. Plant your left leg, spread your fingers, grip your mat, lift your knees, and push your heart back to that space between your ankles. Deep breath. Lift your left leg up. Exhale, step to the top of your space. Both hands rise up. Hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. So I had to get some photos taken for our mat, our new Stronger Yoga mat, coming to you very soon. And it's got a surfboard printed on it, so I was all in this freaking surfboardy gear. And now I'm just hot as fuck. Okay. Arms reach out to the side, like you're about to give the world a hug. Lean in for that hug. Push your left knee over your toes. Lift the right foot carefully. Bend the right knee. Slowly lower the chest. Bend the left knee, belly to the thigh. Nipple to the knee. Touch the outer ankle with fingertips. Hug the right knee to the midline. Push into the left heel. Lift the right big toe. Slowly extend, right leg straight. You're trying to touch a wall behind you with your right big toe. Hands are reaching forward to touch a wall in front of you. Push into the left heel. Rise all the way up. Plant your right foot. Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard, man. If it was easy, everybody'd do it. Cross ankle over the thigh. Hand on the ankle. Squat down, stick out your butt. Which camera am I on? Good. I want you to imagine you've got a cup of tea resting here on your low back, just above your butt crack. You're trying to prevent yourself from spilling it. Point the left big toe, lift the left knee. Pull the knee up to the sternum, the center of your chest, as you push the ankle down. And release. Plant that left foot. Take a big step back with your right foot. So we're turning to the long edge of the mat and turn the heels in, point the toes out, squat down again. Slide your butt from side to side. You couldn't do it wrong if you tried. Well, I guess if you tried really hard, you could. And now the next time we bend this right knee, keep going. Keep going. Nice and slow. Nice. Now I'm going to take my right elbow and wedge it underneath my right shin. Plant the right hand, plant the left hand. Notice my fingers, all 10 of them, are pointing to the top edge of my mat. Lower the heart, and I'm going to try to slide right hand back and left hand forward. Like you're smoothing out the sheet on a bed. Left toes, pull them back and point them. Pull them back, point them. Pull them back. You're trying to touch your knee with your toes and point them and push. You're trying to touch the top edge of your mat. Release. Lift your butt off your heels and over to the left. Sitting, sitting, sitting. Left heel lifts and right toes lift. Now elbow comes towards ankle. Plant the left hand. Plant the right hand. All fingers are pointing to the short back edge of your mat. Left hand slides back. Right hand slides forward. Dorsiflex the right ankle, pull the toes towards the knee. And then try to get your big toes to touch the back edge of your mat. Pull the toes back to the knee and point the toes. One more time, pull the toes back, pull that foot back, and point the toes. Release. Slowly rise up. Hands can assist you. Come into warrior two. Right foot turns out, right knee bends. Reach your hands away from your heart. Flip your palms up. Press your chest against your shirt, your butt against your shorts or pants. Close your eyes. Feel the contact that you have with the floor in the soles of your feet. And balance your weight in each foot evenly, from front to back of each foot evenly, and side to side. Take your thumbs, slide them over your ears like you're sweeping your glorious, gorgeous hair back. And then lift your elbows, look up, and while your elbows go up, your groin goes back. You're trying to put the back of your, or the top of your head and your butt cheeks on a wall behind you. Release. Bind your hands behind you. Squeeze your palms. Turn to the inside of your right knee and bow. Release and rise. Other side. Turn the right foot in. Turn the left toes out. Sit into the left hip. Bend the left knee. Reach your hands away from your heart. Flip your palms up. Sit in the hips, but lift the heart up. In the base of your pelvis, you're digging down. Those are your roots digging into the earth. Your spine is the stem of a plant, and your arms are the leaves capturing the sunlight. What a beautiful fucking picture I've painted for you. What a beautiful goddamn metaphor. That was some lovely shit. Be the flower. You guys, be the goddamn flower. Slide your thumbs over your ears. Lift elbows. Lift butt cheeks. You're trying to get your tailbone on the back of your head. And if you succeed, send me a picture. Release. Bind your hands behind you. Turn and bow the heart to the inside of the left knee. Lift the fist. Squeeze the palms. Knuckles are trying to touch the ceiling. Collarbones reach away from the hips. Release, rise back up, push into the left foot. Turn the left toes in. Hands on the thighs. Ooh, getting a little bit touchy there. It's a good thing that's your own hand, or somebody would slap it. All the way down. Grab your big toes. And then pull your shoulder blades onto your back and pull your collarbones away from your hips. Little bend in the knees, guys. Don't lock out those legs or straighten them. Just bend them a little bit so you can pull the groin back. The groin can go back when the knees go forward. Place your hands on the floor, walk them over to your right foot, turn your body to the right, turning to the back edge of your mat. Left knee goes down, right foot steps out to the right. Slide the hands east and west. Turn your right toes to point at your right hand. Bend your elbows and bow. Get your heart down towards the floor and then back your face away from the floor without backing your heart off. Push into right heel like you're trying to slide your mat forward. Release. Lift your heart. Step your right foot all the way left until you can lower the right knee down. We're in a pigeon. Yeah. Elbows come down. Pray to the deity of your choice. I'm still counting on someone out there. I keep putting this out into the universe to make this happen. I really need for my yoga space that we can proudly display on these walls a picture of Tom Cruise painted like a saint, like Saint Tom. I really want that really bad. I don't know why. Don't. I don't know why. I just want it. I shouldn't have to explain to anyone why I need a religious Tom Cruise painting. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand. You're trying to capture the pinky edge. Remember, if you can't grab your foot, use a towel and lasso your left foot. Bridge the distance between hand and foot with a towel or a strap. Pull your heel to your tailbone. Pull your collarbones away from your right hip. It's like you're pulling your foot to you, and then you realize how bad it smells, so you lean back. Release. Plant both hands, and let's see if you can pop back onto that right foot. Lift the left knee, plant the right foot, and we're going to walk the hands over to the left foot and turn to the top of the mat. Right knee goes down. My left foot steps left, and you'll probably get a better view of it on this side. From here, I want my foot to turn out, the hands to step out onto the fingertips, and I bow the heart. And whenever we're trying to lower the chest, we get this optical illusion if we drop the chin and try to touch the floor with our nose. We think our chest went closer to the floor because our eyes got closer to the floor. So bow the chest and then back the face off. That's the sides of your neck lifting, sliding. Again, using that stinky metaphor. I'm full of stinky metaphors. It's like your mat smells bad, your head backs away, but your heart loves the smell. It's a musky smell. And your heart says, yes, bring us closer. Nose says, no, stinky. Release. Toe, heel, left foot to the right. Knee to the floor. If it didn't look as delicate as that when you were trying to get into this position, please know that it's a process. It's a process, and nobody climbs a 20 or 40 foot staircase bounding to the top step, right? It's one step at a time. Elbows come down. This is where I get all fucking influencery and motivationally, and I tell you that you got to hustle for that muscle, and you got to dig for that wig, and you know what the fuck I mean. Your body tells you everything. That's the inspiration. It's not a silly fucking Instagram quote. It's not a funny TikTok thing. Your body. Pay attention to your body. And I'd say put the phone down, and it's ironic, I have a phone literally strapped to my forearm, but that's my excuse so I can control my cameras. But I've been getting very good in the last week of not having my hand tethered to my phone. In fact, I've just not touched it for a while. What else should we talk about? Did you watch that Jeffrey Epstein thing? That was gross. I mean, we gotta pass the time here, you know. What should we talk about? Bend your right knee. Reach back with your left hand. And you might not be able to grab that foot with your elbow down. If you can come onto your hands and grab that foot, do that. Stay on that right hand if you need to. You can step it forward and lower the elbow back down later after you got your foot, maybe, who knows. Pull the heel to the tailbone. It's Tiny Diamond's birthday in a couple of days. And yeah, Dharma Daddy, he's scored the Baby Yoda Build-A-Bear. Release. Now, as we place our hands back on the floor, we're just going to roll onto the glutes if your body's going to give you that. And we're going to come into a Sukhasana position. That's legs folded in front of you. It's quite different than this, which is where you're sitting cross-legged, and maybe you can comfortably sit like that, but you couldn't sit like that for an hour, let's say, right? You would cut off the blood flow to your feet. They would get all tingly. And then you'd be annoyed being distracted by your body. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why we practice. We create a resilient, healthy body that doesn't bother the mind. It doesn't trouble it with those aches and pains. So sitting in your best Sukhasana, you might need to sit on a block because that could ease the tension in your hips, right? So if your butt's on the floor and your knees are just up here and your back is round, if you're sitting and it looks like this, you're still a good person. Just sit on something. Take the floor up to your ass, and you'll have a little bit easier time at the hips, okay? So we're going to end pretty simply today. I just want you to take your left hand, place it on your right thigh, place your right hand and place it on your sacrum. Lift your heart away from the floor. Turn your chest. Don't turn your head, turn your chest. When you can't turn your chest anymore, then turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Release. You can place your right hand on your left thigh, just above the knee, and left hand on your sacrum. Remember, the spine doesn't rotate well when it's in flexion, okay? So we got to get out of the slouch, and that's why we want to think of our heart as a balloon just full of helium. It's floating up to the top of the rib cage. And then we can turn the chest. We're not trying to get the chin to turn our chest. Okay, it's very poor at that. Most of the rotation occurs right here between the atlas and the axis, the first two vertebrae in your neck. So first, lift your heart and keep the chin over the sternum, and then rotate the chest. We want the chin to complete a twist, not to start it. Release. Place your hands in front of you. Walk your hands forward. Elbows go down, maybe the head goes down. Walk your hands over to the right. Place your left hand on your right hand. Bow the heart to the right knee. Walk the hands back to your groin and switch out your legs. Left foot in front. Walk your hands forward and bow. Lift the forehead, walk the hands left. Place your right hand on your left hand and bow the heart to the knee. Walk your hands back, rise up. If you like to end your practice with Shavasana,